Some major breaking news coming out of Pittsburgh right now, as the Pittsburgh Steelers have officially signed cornerback Darius Slay to a contract. Also, they lose out on Justin Fields in free agency as he signs with the New York Jets. But first, before I get more into both of those, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers free agency news. And also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, I'm going to start off with Justin Fields and then move over to Darius Slay, because Justin Fields has reportedly just signed with the New York Jets for a huge contract. He is signed for a 2-year, $40 million deal, which includes $30 million guaranteed with the New York Jets. The Pittsburgh Steelers lose out on him and now do not have a quarterback as of right now in free agency. This deal is a $30 million guaranteed deal with the Jets. So basically $20 million per year. So moving over to Darius Slay really quickly, the Pittsburgh Steelers signed him to a contract as well in free agency. So they get a cornerback to pair next to Joey Porter Jr. And he has reportedly come out and said multiple times he plans for this to be his final season in the NFL, his last year in the NFL. And now it will be spent with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you remember years ago when he was with the Detroit Lions and he was looking to be traded, the Pittsburgh Steelers were so close to trading for him, a deal didn't get done, and then he went to the Philadelphia Eagles for 5 seasons, won a Super Bowl this past year with them, and now he was released by the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason because of his contract, and he was set to become a free agent. And the market looked good for him because he just came off a really good season. Last season, NFL won't be making that much money. And the Pittsburgh Steelers get a deal done and they sign him in free agency. So this is him coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, let's transition back over to Justin Fields quickly and then go back to Darius Slay once again. So going back to Justin Fields, the Pittsburgh Steelers were in contract talks with him for the past few weeks now. And when you look at that, it's because Justin Fields, they didn't have a quarterback under contract right now. They were looking for a quarterback to be their starter and looking to bring in a guy. But the reason why he did not re-sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers is because he didn't know for sure if he could trust the Pittsburgh Steelers to stick with him to be the actual starter, or would they bring in a different quarterback to take his job, just like they basically did with Russell Wilson this past season. So that was a huge thing for him. He wanted to test his free agent market to see what he could make out there, did not want to re-sign right away. Apparently the Pittsburgh Steelers, per Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, offered him a contract to return to the team, but he did not get back to them. He wanted to keep testing his free agent market, and the Jets get a deal done. The biggest team out of this whole situation about Justin Fields, about signing him away, was the Jets. And the Jets do get a deal done and give him $20 million per year over 2 years for $40 total million and $30 million guaranteed. And that's a big contract for him because he just came off a season where he was a backup. He wasn't a starter, he was the backup. He did go 4-2 in his first few games, but he was the backup. So he signs a huge contract, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers, they need to hurry up and sign a different quarterback in free agency. And that basically only leaves Aaron Rodgers available because Sam Darnold just went to the Seattle Seahawks, and it leaves Russell Wilson available. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have to make a decision, and those two are basically guaranteed to be either Pittsburgh Steelers. Which one do they pick? We have to wait and see. But Justin Fields is now gone, and no more developing him and seeing what he could do and what his usage could be and what he could turn out to be. No, that's over. The Pittsburgh Steelers wasted his time because he wanted to be the starter last season. Should have probably stuck him out with the starter. Mike Tomlin didn't trust him, wanted to go with Russell Wilson, and now he's gone. So Justin Fields is a New York Jet. Now, transitioning over back to Darius Slay. Darius Slay comes over to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is a cornerback who's 34 years old. He's on the later portion of his career, but he's still really, really good. He played in 14 games for the Philadelphia Eagles this past season, and when looking at his stats, he didn't put up an interception, but in terms of forced fumbles, he did have 1, and when looking at his pass defense, he did have 13. So he's been really good in coverage. He just hasn't created those turnovers that he's gotten in his prior years, where in 2023 he put up 2, 2022 3, 2021 3. So he hasn't put up the interceptions this past season, but he's still really good in coverage in terms of man coverage and zone coverage and just not letting his guy beat him and just playing really good zone defense and man defense. So this was expected. If you were just looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers and who they're going to add at the cornerback position, this was expected. He stands at 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. They were interested in him many years ago, so why wouldn't they be interested in him now in a shorter contract and a lesser money type of deal? So they were interested and they bring him in. This was expected. He's a Mike Tomlin type of guy, and he comes in and his nickname is Big Play Slay for a reason. So this will more than likely be his final season in the NFL, so the Steelers will still need to deal with a cornerback next season, but this doesn't mean the Pittsburgh Steelers could stop looking for a cornerback. This doesn't stop them from looking for a slot cornerback or another outside cornerback, whether it's in free agency or the draft, because they still need more players at that position. So this just stops it for now, and it allows some relief at that position, but they could still go out and sign some other players or draft some other players, in which they should. They need to fully redo this cornerback and defensive back group, and it starts with Darius Slay, I guess, for at least one more year. So he's going to be opposite of Joey Porter Jr. Joey Porter Jr. is already a really good defender. After being drafted basically in the first round, he was pick number 32, so it's officially second round, but pick number 32 is usually first round of his draft class a few years back. So he's already a really good defender. Now he has Darius Slay to learn from, but to mentor him. He already had Patrick Peterson to mentor him, but now he has Darius Slay as well, and Darius Slay can still play at a high level. So let's see what he's able to do, and hopefully the Steelers defensive backs don't get burnt this season like they did towards the end of the season last year, and it seems like every season now. Hopefully this means that Dante Jackson is not going to be back. Dante Jackson was traded for in the Deontay Johnson deal last season, but it looks like he won't be back now, but Darius Slay takes his place. So this is a big deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. When looking at Darius Slay's PFF grade, he got a 75.5 coverage grade, which was 14th among all cornerbacks this past season. So this is a big time addition and hopefully a lockdown cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So in total, just going over this whole thing, once again, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in dire need now of a quarterback. The quarterback market is going away quickly, and they have to make a decision on who will be their quarterback before everyone is gone. And quarterback Aaron Rodgers, whether they go trade for Kirk Cousins, re-sign Russell Wilson, they have to pick quickly because you can't sign other players if you don't even know who your quarterback is going to be. Playmakers, other players won't want to come to your team if you don't have a quarterback, and Justin Fields is now gone. He's no longer an option. But he moves on. Wish him the best. I really believe that he should have been with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He should have never been benched, but it is what it is. He moves on for the better for his career in terms of money, and he should have got the opportunity with Pittsburgh, but he now gets it with the New York Jets to be their starting quarterback. And he has no one behind him other than Tyrod Taylor. So you know he'll be the guy. And now he's given the full opportunity. Also, just to recap once again, Darius Slay signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers on a contract to help this team out and hopefully lead them to victory in the playoffs and hopefully redo what he did with the Eagles last year and win the Super Bowl. But this time in a different Pennsylvania team in the Pittsburgh Steelers area and the Steelers team. So with that being said, let's end this video, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on both these topics. Justin Fields signing with the New York Jets. Did you want him to return to the Pittsburgh Steelers? How do you feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers basically not securing his job as a starter, and that's being the reason why he left? Do you think he should have been given the opportunity to be the starter? Do you think they should have re-signed him, or do you think they should go a different route, in which they obviously have to do now with signing a different quarterback? Do you think it should be Russell Wilson? Do you think it should be Aaron Rodgers? Someone else? Trade for a guy? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about this quarterback situation. And also let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about the Steelers signing Big Play Slay, Darius Slay, to a contract. How do you feel about him signing for basically 1 year before he retires? And do you think they should have went a different route, sign a younger guy for more years? Or do you believe they should still add someone? Or do you believe they should have not signed Slay or should have signed Slay just in general? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about that. And also make sure you subscribe to this channel, like I said earlier in the video, for everything in Pittsburgh Steelers free agency. Everything they've done so far, I've covered it. So stay tuned to this channel for everything more coming up, and analysis and highlights as well. And until the next video, probably later on today, very soon, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.